11 o'clock, and it's, what is it now? December 12th, isn't it? Thursday, December 12th. So,
How does that work? Is it working now?
it's working now.
Well, I thought you were gonna snap it.
No, no. It's just gonna keep going.
I'm getting out of here.
The big part about it is that I had to record the sound, the conversation, because if I don't record the conversation, then I'd be typing or trying to remember everything. And then I thought, well, I could have a little tape recorder, but why not,
Okay, what do you wanna know?
So, where were you born?
Brigham City, Utah.
You were born in Brigham City. And can I ask the date?
February 6, 1919.
1918. So who is your dad and mom?
Edward Morris is my father, and Laurena Princess Laura Hadley.
Laurena Princess Laura Hadley?
No, parenthesis. They
Oh.
called her Laura.
Oh, okay, so Laura. Okay. So, tell me about your family. Who is in your family?
Well, I had a half-sister, Edith.
Mm-hmm.
She was older than all of us. Then I had 3 brothers, Eddie, Clyde, and Glenn,
Were you born in your home or did you
in
go
the house.
in the house? What did your mom and dad do? Were they part of the first immigrators or?
Oh, no. My father came from England. He was converted and baptized over in England.
Do you remember which town it was? Or?
Let's see, what is it called? Can't even think of it.
What about your mother?
She was born in Utah, right here.
Really?
Yeah,
When you say in Brigham, like
Brigham.
whereabouts? What, is it just like a few blocks from here, or?
Yeah, it wasn't a very big town.
No. Back in south. And what about your brothers and sisters? What were they like?
My sister? I don't know what do you need to know about her?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just curious to
She was,
get a few memories of her, that's all.
she's a dynamite little girl. She was. She was small.
Not really tall, huh?
No. See, her father was different than ours. My mother was married to George Hanson,
Mm-hmm.
and he died 13 months after they were married,
Oh.
which was
Sickness?
sad. Then she married my father, who was much older.
Oh. Huh. I did not know that.
Yeah, and he was, I don't know, he came to Utah and then sent for his wife in England.
Mm-hmm.
And she got here, and 9 months after she got here, she died and the baby died. She died in what they call child bed.
Oh.
They're in Salt Lake, buried in Salt Lake.
Mm. What did he do when he got here?
He was one of the first firemen in Salt Lake.
Oh. Was he a fireman in England?
No, they had a big farm.
Oh, okay.
Then he owned a big fruit orchard in Bountiful, too, down here.
Why did he move up to Brigham?
Well, I really don't know why he did. But he ran a meat market.
I did several things.
Oh yeah, he did a lot of different things.
So when you say he was a lot older than your mom, how old?
Well, she is his 3rd wife.
Oh.
His 2nd wife. They moved to Brigham. But my mother was a secretary to Judge Jones, or Judge Cull, both of them, and he was there on business. and he met her.
Hmm.
And I guess she was so in love with her first husband that didn't matter. All she got out of it was 4 kids. They say he was a lady told me that when she was a girl, whenever he'd meet her on the street, he would tip his hat. She said he was a real gentleman.
Hmm.
And he gave the first songbooks to the Second Ward here in Brigham. He bought them and gave them to them.
Was he part of like the English gentry when he was there? Or?
Well, they weren't the peasants.
Yeah,
They had this big farm, and it's over by the White Cliffs of Dover.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's in Kent County.
Oh, okay. Huh.
He was, I understand, I can't remember him. He died when I was 3.
Oh, okay. But you had 2 young brothers?
I had 3 brothers older than myself.
Oh, okay.
I was the cute baby.
Were you
of the
spoiled?
family. No. I used to run and go hide in the old shed and take my books and read them. And when my mother called me, I didn't answer. I read everything inside.
Having too much fun. So you grew up straight in Brigham? Or did you
Always.
move around? Always in
No,
Brigham?
right in the same place.
Was this the high school across
No,
the?
this was the old Central School.
Oh,
But it burned down. It was a 3-story building. And
yeah.
it burned down.
So did you go to school though basically on the
Uh-huh.
spot?
Over there, and then junior high was up with the high school, up by the high school.
Huh. Do you remember much about those years? Are they good times or were they hard?
We were poor,
Yeah.
but we had fun. I skated, I played tennis, I played all the things that boys usually play.
I wonder if that's why Mom was such a tomboy.
I don't know.
Genetics or encouragement? Who knows? Where and when did you meet Grandpa?
Let's see, I met him in 1939 at my friend's. He was stepping my friend who lived down the street from us, and I met him down at her place, and then he started stepping me.
So when you saw him, were you interested or did you?
Interested. Ooh. There was this big, tall, handsome, blonde guy.
You're saying he basically smoldered wherever he went.
Well, he was something.
So it was a pure, simple attraction.
Yeah, but then he was fun.
Was your girlfriend sore about that?
No, she married somebody else.
So when Grandpa saw you, did he, I guess we said about 1 week afterwards he called you up or something like that?
Yeah, he called me up for a date.
And it didn't take him that long.
Oh, yes. And he took me to a fair, county fair in Logan.
Did you have a good time or was it?
Oh, yes, we did.
Was he a teaser back then?
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's always been a teaser.
Yeah.
How old was he? How old are you?
Let's see, I was 20 and he was 24.
He was from Manaway? He was born in
Mhm.
Manaway and grew up there?
He did.
Huh. So is he just basically working the farm with his family or?
No, he worked at the fish hatchery.
Is that the same one that's up there now?
Mm-hmm.
That's been
Only
around?
under different management.
Oh,
It's a state farm, it's a state one on now.
Oh.
But this is the guy, he worked for this man who, his son was just loved with him, and that's what he's going on this.
Oh,
That's the one, uh-huh.
That's the mission send-off on
Right.
Sunday. Oh, okay. Yeah, 'cause that fish hatchery in Manaway looks relatively new, like it hasn't been there
Oh,
very
it
long.
was improved a lot. They
Yeah.
have, the state has.
Huh. So that's where he was working. And then, in those days, I believe there was conscription. Did you get it in the mail, or
Wow, we did. What do you mean?
because 1939, so the war had started.
Yeah, we got married in 1940.
How long was it? A 1-year courtship, or sort of?
Oh, I don't know, 5 or 6 months.
Oh, okay.
We got married in 1940. 1942, Nancy was born.
So, when you got married, which temple did you get married at?
Salt Lake.
Salt Lake. Was Ogden there at that time?
No.
No. Was that the closest temple?
Logan,
Oh, okay. But you went for Salt Lake.
we went
anyway.
to Salt Lake.
Do you remember much about the wedding? Did you have a party afterwards or invite friends over?
We didn't have enough money to have a Queen Dewey or something,
Mm-hmm.
but we had friends over and had a dinner after.
Came back here to have a dinner?
My aunt in Ogden had the dinner.
Oh,
We
okay.
stopped on the way.
I hate to be ignorant, but did you have cars or how did you?
Oh, sure.
I don't know any. I guess it was 1940, so yeah.
We had plenty.
What
They
kind
had-
of cars did you have?
Oh, we had a Thunderbird after we got married. Let's see what else we had. Chivs, Pontiac. I mean, we had a bunch.
Oh, okay.
Then we bought a truck and had a camper.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he took all the kids and went up the mountains every Saturday and fished.
Hmm.
And brought them back Saturday night so that they could go to church. He's been in every church job there is.
I seem to recall when we were a lot younger going to somewhere, I think it was Bear Lake, is that right?
Oh, yes. We went to Bear Lake a lot.
I remember the water was quite warm and you could catch little minnows or tadpoles or whatever in there. And I don't seem to recall there were a lot of mosquitoes either. I may be wrong.
But you got sunburned so quick up there.
Is that far away from here?
Well, it's up Logan Canyon.
Long ways or
Well,
how long to drive
20,
there?
about 60 miles away.
Oh, so not killer far. So where did you live after you got married?
We lived at my mother's. She was alone and needed the help. I'm on camera.
Hmm?
I'm on camera.
You're on camera.
You want to pull up a seat?
Well, you better smile. It's prettier when you smile.
Want to take a break?
What a guy.
You look like you want to talk about something.
Yeah.
I think I will tomorrow. If Stephen doesn't mind us coming up and messing
No.
around. So where did Grandpa work then? Is he still the fish hatchery or did he
Oh,
change
no.
those?
And he worked at Hillfield.
But wasn't that after the war?
That was after the war.
So where did he work when you guys got married?
He was a fireman down at the hospital down here. They had Bushnell Hospital.
I didn't know there was a hospital. I didn't even know he was a fireman actually.
He was on the fire department.
Oh. That makes you proud,
But
having
he
a big
wa-
fireman.
then he was made a guard. 'Cause they were prisoners, German prisoners at this hospital
Oh.
as well.
How long was the hospital here for?
Well, I don't know. It was here in about 10 years ago, I think. It closed up. It turned into an Indian school,
Mm-hmm.
and then it quit.
Well, so was that place across, down the little south and across the other side of the road? Yeah.
But
What-
it's all back up in there.
So he did that for a couple of years and then he was called up or?
Yeah.
Did he have to register? Did everybody basically have to register and then they called you up sort of on some kind of
That's right.
prioritization?
He was 27 or 8 when he went.
Where did they go for training? Like where did they?
Camp Fannin in Texas.
Texas. And how long? 2 weeks or something?
Oh, no. 6 or 7.
6 or 7 weeks of training? Do you know where he was stationed afterwards? First station in Europe? I assume they just all jumped on a big transport boat?
Yeah, they had to transport a big ship. I don't know where he was stationed.
Do you know what parts of?
Austria and Germany.
Do you know which parts he was?
He was in the 79th Army.
79th Army. And how long was he in the army before he was shot up so bad?
Let's see, he went over there. Anyway, I was pregnant when he left.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't think he'd have to go. We thought he was too old, but he did have to go.
Hang on a second. So,
Remember,
79th Army, he went over, and then he was,
in 1943, he was drafted. But he wasn't there, but he got, he was made a sergeant on the field.
I thought he turned sergeant down, kept turning it down because he said it was the dangerous job.
So I don't know how it turned out anyway. He got all shot up.
Do you know how long he'd been in Germany before, or in Europe beforehand? Was it a year or?
No, it wasn't a year. He got shot up pretty quick. But he was shot in the mountain. And they had to take him out by jeep. And it was below zero. And he got to this field hospital. And the doctors said if it had been warm, he would have bled to death before he got there. Everything that happened was in his favor, you know, that it could be.
Mm-hmm.
He had 7, it was all his left side. He still got shrapnel in a wrist and a rib in there.
Does it
After all
bother
this-
him sometimes, or?
Oh, yeah. But he's been so many things in the church that I'll have to tell you a story. The new lady in our ward, she'd been not too long there, and she came and she said, "Oh, isn't that Mrs. Jeppsen a faithful widow?" And my friend said to her, "She's not a widow. That's her husband up on the stand." She didn't know she'd never seen me with him.
Oh, him being apart so much.
He was always gone up, you know, on the stand or some other ward or something.
Huh. I think you mentioned that when he got shot, they left him overnight or so, because he was shot so bad they thought he was dead, or?
They thought he was dying.
Oh, so they knew he was alive, but they
Oh,
feared there
they
was
knew
no
he
hope.
was alive, yeah. And he said as he laid there up on this big hill where they were shooting, he said pieces of shrapnel would drop on him.
Really?
Yeah. He's trying to get something for himself here. I don't know if he's gonna make it or not.
Oh, you got the pie. Ooh. So,
Is she
I guess-
in there?
yes.
Oh,
So I guess he was conscious then through that.
yeah,
I
he was.
See, I don't know anything about that. I thought that he was unconscious and they thought he was dead and they left him.
No, the medic that came out to assist him got shot.
Really? Wounded or killed?
Wounded.
Okay.
But he's got a lot of war experiences. That he's got medals and all kinds of stuff.
Never seen him, you know?
I'll go get him.
So, when he was shot, was it sort of in the evening? Or?
Oh, daylight.
Can you give me a hug? Okay. And so they basically didn't have a medic anymore, and he was, I guess they thought he was too badly wounded to
Well,
survive.
somebody came and picked them both up
Oh, okay.
in a Jeep.
But this was the next day, wasn't it?
No, not a few hours.
Oh, okay. I've always thought, had you thought that he was being left for dead overnight or something? No?
Not then.
Oh. Huh. I've told many a wrong story then. So then what? They took him off the mountain in a Jeep in the cold and he got hypothermia and didn't bleed to death.
That's right.
And you mentioned there were a couple doctors from the States that were...
From the
touring.
Mayo Clinic.
Oh.
And they cut off, they just cut off the clothes.
Yeah. And they were in town just by accident or...
No, they were doing the hot spots.
Oh, okay. So they were like the big guns that they'd
Yeah.
send around to the really ugly parts.
And see, he just happened when he was there. And they cut off his clothes and they had his garments on.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't wear them in basic training, but I sent him to him
Yeah.
after he wanted them. And he said, the doctor said something about when he got home, he was going to Utah to see what went on with some of these guys that shouldn't have lived but did.
Hmm.
So he didn't know. And anyway, penicillin was developed just at this time,
Hmm.
and that saved him.
All the infection, I guess. Hmm.
He was allergic to sulfa, but he was fine with penicillin.
So they kept him on the operating table, kept throwing out bits of metal.
Oh, it was something, I guess. Deflated one lung, went through his shoulder.
Hmm. So what happened then? They shipped him off to home?
No, they shipped him to London,
Mm-hmm.
and there he recovered, and then he went. They were in such need of men, they gave him a job in a supply room, just handing out supplies.
Oh. How long did it take him to recover?
Not
A year?
he was in hospitals and everything through 8 months.
Yeah. And then that would have been close to the end of the war by then, I would think.
Yeah. Terrible.
So, Mom was about 2 or 3 when he went over,
She was 2.
and when he came back, she was about 5, 4.
Robert was born while he was gone. And the thing about it was funny. I wrote him a letter and had the names,
Mm-hmm.
that he should pick one out to name.
Mm-hmm.
So he never did answer it. He didn't get it in time. So finally, his dad named him, and we picked Robert Wynn. And I got a letter back, and it says, whatever you do, don't name him Robert. They'll call him Bobby.
This is a
And I was already done.
good letter back to him. Whoops.
Right. That was true.
How did you find out? Did they send you a letter when he was shot, or did they send you?
They sent me a telegram.
Oh.
Seriously wounded in action. I've got the telegram, and I had he had letters from me in his pocket,
Mm-hmm.
and it just sheared him.
Going through.
Sure.
So when did you find out he was okay?
I never did find out from anybody until there was a V-mail. Did you ever seen V-mail? Just a little thing that's called V-mail, and
No.
that the Army had, you wrote on it. And I knew that he had hands and could see because of the way he wrote
Mm-hmm.
and everything, so I could figure out that he was.
So you didn't know before then, though? what you're gonna get back.
Have you come to have your picture taken?
Not me,
I'm gonna track you down.
not me. I've got one in here got one shed.
Poor little kid drinks all the time.
Well, he's somewhat addicted to juice. We keep him pretty well strictly rationed, but it makes him very happy when he gets it. So, when did he come home? About 1945, was it? 46 that he actually made it back to Brigham? Or did you go visit him first?
No, they shipped him to, of course, there's a hospital right here,
Mm-hmm.
but it was more for amputees. But he ended up in California.
And so did he come back from there? Or did you go see him first?
He got a pass. I never went to see him.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's no way. Those were times when you didn't do it. Everything was rationed.
Oh, so
Yeah, there's no way you could go.
even
Then
the
I
gas
had-
and everything was wrapped.
And I had 2 kids.
Yeah. So what did he?
So
when
I
did he
went
actually
to
make
work
it back?
What?
When did he actually make it back into Brigham?
Well, he came home on a furlough once, and then he had to go back. But I can't remember when he came.
And you went to work.
I went to work down at this Bushnell Hospital
Mm-hmm.
as a secretary.
Hmm.
My mother tended Nancy and Robert, because we had to have some money.
Mm-hmm.
It was poor time for us. Well, we made it. But it was a terrible experience for his mother. She
Right.
lived here in town, and I went down with the telegram and told his dad. He was outside. And he said, "Oh, this will hurt Mama." And she just screamed. See, she'd already lost one boy.
Really?
Yeah, a young boy,
Oh, okay. Not in the war though.
not no more.
Hmm.
And then his younger brother Ardell was going to be drafted.
Oh, he was on.
He was going to be. He was getting old enough.
What was it? 18 was it when they were taking him, or 19?
18.
So the birthday was coming up.
Well, he was waiting for, I don't know just what, but she just felt so bad. I felt so sorry for her. And here I was with 2 kids.
Yeah. I guess there's not much you can do either.
No.
Just it's too bad there was the messages are so vague.
That's right. Was.
All you have to do is sit around.
But I'll tell you one thing. Nancy was the cutest little girl you ever saw. She had this red hair,
Mm.
and wind came, and before he left, they had a what they call Peach Day in Brigham.
Mm-hmm.
And he took her up to the merry-go-round and stood on there and held her. Oh, he was so excited about her. Gosh.
Hmm.
She was so cute. And she could walk at 9 months and talk to a stream, and she could sing songs. And,
That early.
oh, yeah. Well, she was good. When she was a year and a half, boy, she really could tell you, recite poems. And
Hmm.
of course, we weren't proud or anything.
Not
We
at
didn't
all.
show her off, you know.
Didn't dress her up in cutie little outfits.
No, of course not. No. We gave her a lot of stuff.
Do you remember much about her when she was growing up past that in school and everything?
Smart little girl. She really was. She was always the head of the class. And she was a good artist.
Yes. She hasn't had time to do that much, but I remember when we were younger, she always had a project on the go. They're good.
She was cute. And Robert, gosh, he was so cute.
So when Grandpa came back, did he continue to work at Hill Air Force Base?
Then he went to work at Hill Air Force Base.
Was that sort of just a simple formality? Because, I mean, he
No.
was wasn't he in the Army? And then to go to the Air Force would be completely
Well,
different.
he was in procurement.
Hmm.
He had a pretty good job. He traveled for the company buying stuff.
So whatever they needed, he would go track it down.
Yeah, they went back east to a lot of the companies and stuff.
Hmm. Did he enjoy it, or did he get tired?
Oh, yes. I said, that's not fair.